Despite the socio-economic challenges exacerbated by the energy crisis, inflation and unemployment, Gauteng remains the most industrialized and diversified economy in South Africa. The issue of substance abuse has been given top priority by the Gauteng Department of Social Development, including efforts to combat food insecurity and homelessness. Additionally, opportunities and skills development are being leveraged to minimize youth unemployment and create sustainable communities. Gauteng MEC for Social Development, Agriculture and Rural Development, Mbali Hlophe, hosted a business breakfast to discuss possible areas of partnership with the private sector.
It goes without saying that all of us are aware, just on the first, the Minister of Finance was giving us input, giving a midterm budget in terms of where the economy is. And all of us could see that things are not looking too good. All of you would have seen within newspapers, on TV and so forth, that government is going to be implementing on cuts. And all of this is because of what the economy is currently and where it is. So if you think about it, as South Africa, we've done exceptionally well. We know the history that we come from and so forth. But part of the biggest challenges has been how do we move everybody to an equal playing field? And this is why all of us need to come together. Because we're at a point now where we need to work together, and silos are showing us that it's not going to work. It's not giving us the results that we want to see, and especially not as fast as we want to see them. So government and business can't continue working in silos. We really need to come together because it's a win-win for everybody. As we all know that when we are able to deal with issues around food insecurity, the unemployment and so forth, it means you'll have more people that are able to work for themselves, more people that are able to be self-sufficient, we're able to reduce on our crime stats and so forth. It's a ripple effect. So a lot of you might be thinking, but why now? So late in the game. Well, as you know, we had a reshuffle that took place when our premier got into office. And a lot of what we're doing, and having looked at the work that the administration has been doing, was Premier then did a reshuffle to reallocate individuals into areas where we need to fast-track development and fast-track on the implementation of the work that we want to do. And I suppose he said to me, you're the youngest in the team, so I'm going to throw you right bang into where the social issues are, because you must be able to turn that youthful population into being productive. And I'm calling on all of you to work with us and make sure that we travel this journey together. We're having a business engagement today. As you know, that the joint priority of our two departments, which is the Department of Social Development, Agriculture, Rural Development and Environment, is to deal with 5 key priorities, and that is to deal with food insecurity in the province. The current stats reveal that 52% of the province is food insecure, so food security is top of our agenda, followed by substance abuse. That goes without saying, as you would have known, the increasing stats of the young people, particularly that are engaged in substances. Homelessness is another big one of ours, in a province like ours that attracts a variety of individuals, and some of them unfortunately do land up on our streets. Environmental sustainability would be 4th on our agenda, and that has to do with the amount of waste that is created, as the province has the highest amount of waste that is in the country. And lastly is around skills development, and this is really cross-cutting, and is to make sure that we're able to get as many people as possible to be developed so that they can be self-sufficient, and we're able to drive the numbers away from grants and those that are dependent on grants towards being self-sufficient. And this is particularly for those who are able to work, and we should be able to drive towards that. We'll continue to take care of the vulnerable, which is your elderly, your young children, and those with disabilities. But those that we believe can be able to be assisted to work, we really want to move them into being economically active.
You know, so this for me is just, it's great, because I also look forward to some of the engagements and the discussions that we are going to have.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Oliver. I'm the Acting Consul General of China in Joburg. I'm here just to learn what we can do together with Gauteng.
You guys are so blessed to have such an MC in such a time as this. She's a mover. She's in touch with what's happening on the ground. So my call to her, and I've already spoken to people in her office and also the CD, is come, let's talk, as FT, and let's see where we can find synergy and help where you're needing help.
Organizations such as Prime Stars have played an active role in mobilizing businesses to help grow South Africa, particularly Gauteng. After running the program for 9 years and equipping students with entrepreneurial skills, Managing Director Martin Sweet highlights the strength behind public-private partnerships.
It's been very rewarding to see the impact that our programs are having. And it's also very important for each one of you in all your positions to go back to the private sector and say, it is a public-private sector partnership. We have to do this together. We raise funds and we educate 90,000 learners a year. We teach them maths and science, career guidance, financial literacy, but our main process is entrepreneurship, because as you understand, there are no jobs available, so young people have to create their own jobs. They have to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And what we do is we show them a process of how they can start businesses. We create 500 little companies in school every year. It's really a privilege and a pleasure to work with Gauteng and actually create the funds, go to business, mobilize the funding so that we can create these small businesses and help these young people sustainably carry out their lives in a successful way.
Youth unemployment will continue to be our problem because everything else in our country requires a metric, and you don't need a metric to patch a pothole. You don't need a metric to paint.
We are making a pledge to assist in training and development of young people, particularly the ones that do not have metric, and ladies who are on the social grant, particularly the child grant, to train them, take them through a CETA accredited course, teach them on how to patch potholes, give them a business development and how to be entrepreneurs. We're pledging with the department, which we are going to provide the training and partner with the department on that score.
Since her appointment in the year 2022, MEC Hlophe has been tasked with managing 2 service delivery departments of the Gauteng provincial government, namely the Departments of Social Development and the Departments of Agriculture, Rural Development and Environment. As the political head, MEC is supported by HOD Matilda Gasela, who is the accounting officer in charge for both departments.
We're here this morning really just to meet with business people and ambassadors so that we narrate our story. Tell them what it is that we're doing in the both departments that I've spoken to, which are social development, agriculture, rural development, environment. Just really to indicate, the priorities of the department, the programs that we're involved with the department, and hopefully get them to buy in and become our partners. I think as government, we appreciate the fact that on our own, we'll never be able to deal with the big challenges that we have as a society. So this is why we think that it's important that we also engage government and get them to come with us in dealing with the sketches and the social ills that we have as a society.
We are having a crisis as sports foundations in accessing sports facilities. We hear that there is this thing of elephant buildings and buildings not being finished and sports projects not being finished, the issue of the legacy projects and all of that. But we are saying the people that we are talking about, the drug addicts, everybody, they are finding safety spaces in those spaces because we are unable to access them as the relevant stakeholders because of the red tapes or the bylaws that the metros and the province are putting for us as stakeholders or leaders in sports that should be using those facilities. if a sports complex is not used in a week, in a month, in the township, it then becomes a drug sport, and we are experiencing that a lot in the Eastern. So we want business to come in and say, we are going to facilitate in terms of then, if that's how we should meet the bylaw, to say that we will occupy that building so that we are able to push our mission in terms of pushing sport.
I come from a company that imports fuel and also generators, mobile generators. We customize them and we sell them or rent them. So I would like to say that I also would want to partner with the department, but I don't know in what sense. So we have one NPO that we're supporting in KwaZulu-Natal. We have nothing that we're supporting here in Gauteng. So we would like to find a way that we can be able to partner and help here in Gauteng as well. Thank you.
It's, as we all can see, COVID has hit us very hard. The Minister has come out of Finance to indicate just in terms of how depressed our economy is, from a resource point of view, the tax base that we're drawing from and so forth. But we see all those challenges, and unfortunately, unfortunately rather, is that we see opportunity in challenges. And this is where our focus is, and that's why we're focusing on business, particularly because we know that 70% of headquarters of big business are situated here. And we're saying to them, let's work together. Let's not see the challenges, but how do we drive these to becoming opportunities for all of us? If you look at the unemployment that is there, it's prevalent amongst young people. That is a human resource that should be utilized. These are young people that, if properly ignited to be able to work towards growing the economy, we can do that. So these things that we regard as challenges, we're seeing opportunity in them, and this is about driving people towards that.